Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. We are back with another reaction video. Once again, thank you so much for all the suggestions as well in the comments down below. Today, we will be checking out top 10 things Canadians want you to know. Let's jump right into this video, man. I already feel like I'm doing enough talking. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reactions. Let's get right into this video, man. I'm anxious.
Everyone's favorite friendly country has some fun facts to share.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things Canadians want you to know.
Okay.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day.
Original channel link and video link will be in the description down below. Y'all know how I do already. Gotta show support.
For this list, we're looking to clarify Canadian stereotypes, correct misconceptions, or generally gush about things that we think you should know about this North American country.
I'm Canadian.
Number 10. It's not winter all the time. When many people think of Canada, they picture blizzards and polar bears. And don't forget the stereotype that all Canadians live in igloos.
My first time going to Canada was to see Niagara Falls. Believe it or not, that was my only time in Canada, and that's because I wanted to go on a trip with my grandparents. You know, they was going to, we drove from North Jersey all the way to Canada. We took a road trip. I just wanted to tag along as a little kid, as a toddler. Didn't know that. I should have known what was up when they start putting the back seats down. You know, as a kid, you don't really know what's going on. You just want to tag along. They get to putting the back seats down, give me a little DS. I'm sitting in the back with my feet crossed. I'm like, why am I crisscrossed sitting in the back of the van? Where are we going for this long? That's the questions I should have been asking. Man, that drive took forever. Oh my goodness, in the traffic. Because you got to cross like a border once you get there. The traffic, oh my gosh. But that was my only time going there to see Niagara Falls. Beautiful, though. But it was not winter. It was not winter. It was hot. It was hot. It was about 98 degrees.
Nantucket and I would build an igloo.
It wasn't even summer yet.
To protect ourselves from polar bears and flying hockey pucks.
While it's true that Canadian winters can be intense and long, Canada does warm up during the summer months. Igloos would be pretty useless.
There are many ways to describe the summer of 2012. Hot, dry, extreme. But if you're feeling the burn, consider it a unifying Canadian experience.
Like in many other countries, Canadian seasons are varied and unique. Visit in the summer or fall, and you'll be surprised at just how warm it can get.
Oh, you'll be
especially
surprised.
in the southern part of the country. Though one thing is certainly true. Visiting Montreal in the winter can get a little slippery. Number 9. Toronto is not the capital of the country. While there is a joke that they like to consider themselves the center of the universe, contrary to popular belief, Toronto is not the capital of Canada.
A lot of Americans think that too.
You guys doing anything fun while you're in town?
Fun. In Toronto.
It is, however, the largest city in
Ain't nothing to
Canada
do with Toronto? Ain't nothing to do with Toronto? What's up with Toronto?
Population.
I've been on that too. I forgot to tell y'all, I've been on that little spinny thing too.
It is.
What is this called? A view tower? I'm gonna just take a wild guess and say a view tower because it's a tower and you go up to see the view. I'm taking a wild guess. A view tower. I've been on that to see the view of Canada. Very beautiful. Oh my goodness.
However, the largest city in Canada by population, and the fourth largest in North America, just above Chicago. The title of Canadian capital goes to the much smaller and quieter Ottawa.
How did we end up with Ottawa?
So it is the capital of Canada.
A lovely city dedicated mainly to being the center of government. Much like Washington, D.C., Ottawa often gets mocked for being boring.
Suburban Ottawa's great. It has everything Brooklyn does.
Really?
Yes!
He lying. It's just like Washington, D.C. out here. Ain't nothing to do in D.C.
And my job and my friends and my family, you.
You going there to learn.
Museums, restaurants.
No, but
While
government
not as
stuff
exciting
going
as
on down
Toronto,
here.
perhaps, Ottawa's charms are still not to be missed.
Ottawa, the Paris of Central Canada.
Number 8. A Canadian invented basketball. Believe it or not, it was the Canadian James Naismith, a
Yup.
McGill University graduate, who invented this popular sport back in 1891.
Yes, sir.
Naismith was a phys ed teacher at the YMCA International Training School in Springfield, Massachusetts.
For all my Americans, yeah, you better read up on your history, especially my basketball fans. All my NBA fans, all my D1, D2, 3, college fans, yeah, do that research. Because America didn't teach us this right here, man. I had to go ahead and learn this myself. They just
He
be trying to
struggled
take
with
the
a class
credit
of
for
students who were
everything.
disobedient and short-tempered due to being stuck inside all day thanks to a harsh winter. He
Yeah.
resolved to create an indoor game to keep the students distracted and that would help them stay in shape. The end result was basketball.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Number 7. Canadian bacon is just ham.
There's bacon. Canadian bacon.
Yep, that's right. The term Canadian bacon is actually one made up by Americans. In Canada, it's known as back bacon, which is a far more accurate term, but really it's just ham. Just look at it. Does that really look like bacon? No.
Yeah, I've always wondered, because, you know, as a little kid watching iCarly, they try to promote that term, Canadian bacon, and it was just a flat piece of ham. It looked like turkey. I used to be like, what is that? It looked like turkey. It looked like ham. It's not bacon. Then it led me to think, like, maybe these other states are different. You know, maybe these other states are different from the U.S. I'm like, okay, maybe the bacon is circular in Canada. That's what I thought growing up as a kid, you know?
And Canada agrees.
Who in the world
If ham's
told them
Canadian bacon, then
to
what
call
the
it
hell do you call
Canadian
bacon?
bacon?
Canadians take
Like-
their bacon seriously, and as such, the fact that Canada's come to be associated with this term borders on being offensive to the Canadian culinary world. In all seriousness, real Canadian bacon is excellent if you live south of the border. So if you want a real taste of Canadian bacon, you'll just have to make the trip.
I can't
We
eat
highly
swine. I don't
recommend
eat
the
swine.
maple glazed variety.
No, you gave me Canadian bacon instead of bacon? This misdeed cannot go unpunished.
Number 6.
pepperoni.
Tim Hortons isn't our only national coffee chain. Sure, when you're in the mood for a quick double-double or a box of Timbits, Timmy's is a great place to stop.
Thanks for the free donuts. Just donuts, okay? They're like 2 for a loony.
But it's not Canada's only coffee chain, or even its best. Second Cup is another of Canada's national coffee chains, and some would argue it's much better, albeit typically more expensive.
I've heard that too.
of coffee? Third. Why?
You could also try Montreal-based Van Hoot, which has cafes across the province of Quebec. While competitive pricing, amazing marketing campaigns, and its place in pop culture has made Tim Hortons the reigning champ, you still got options. Plus, we even have Starbucks.
I don't like Starbucks. Don't you ever say that again. Bad experience with them. If it's in the U.S., I don't want it. I don't want it. What's this brand called again? Oh, man. Hold on. What's it called again? I don't drink coffee anyway. I don't drink coffee, but I know a few people that do. So we come here, we got to try that. You know, just for the experience. Take a little sip out of it. It ain't gonna kill me.
Competitive pricing, amazing marketing campaigns, and its place in pop culture has made Tim Hortons the reigning champ.
Tim Hortons,
You still
okay.
got options.
Tim Hortons.
Plus, we even have Starbucks.
Oh, this coffee is excellent.
Number 5, we have 2
Starbucks and
official
Dunkin' Donuts
languages.
got it.
My friend in Canada who got married way too young, they had to do their vows twice, once in French.
They speak French there too? God, that place is a mess.
The history of Canada is shaped by both the English and the French, with the two both laying claim to parts of the land until the 7 Years' War, at the end of which France ceded its colony to the English. Thanks to the policies of official bilingualism enacted in the 20th century, both languages are protected and represented today.
If it's Canada, just say the word. And then say it again in French.
These policies ensure that citizens can be served by the federal government in both languages, and politicians seeking to lead the country typically learn both French and English.
Leadership is about bringing people of all different perspectives
Right on. Right on.
together. Je veux aussi rendre hommage à Thomas Mulcair.
While most of the francophone population lives in Quebec, there are many French-speaking communities across Canada, including a large one in New Brunswick.
Au Québec, on travaille en français. Fine. That leaves the rest of Canada under my jurisdiction, with the possible exception of some areas of New Brunswick.
Number 4,
Yeah.
Canada is pretty progressive. Compared to our neighbors, it often seems like Canada is lauded for being a progressive paradise.
When I think about Canada, I actually think of progressive.
While it has its own share of social problems
Word.
and debates, it is true that most of the fights on social issues that take such precedence in the American media have been solved in Canada. Gay marriage has been legal since 2005, and even the Conservative Party doesn't oppose it.
You know, the strongest evidence for genuinely demonstrating a domestic partnership is
And how does everybody feel about this in Canada? Because I seen them raising that flag. How do we feel about this? Oh, I said we. How do y'all feel about this? In America, these people will go berserks about that. You better not paint the ground looking like a rainbow. You better not put up no rainbow flag. You better not wear nothing that's rainbow colored, because people are going to automatically think about that and judge it. But how do you guys feel about it out there? You know, personally, I don't care. I don't care. You know, as long as, like, it's not, you know, towards me and that person shows respect, then I respect what they got going on. You know, I don't care. That's your life. But that's how I think. I'm not ignorant. I'm not petty like that. Live your life.
Take a quick drive on up to Canada and legitimize your relationship.
Legitimize?
Get married.
There are still many problems in Canada, and
In the
it's
US,
by no
they not
means a
gonna like that
progressive
one.
utopia. But the country should be proud of all the progress it's already made.
We should move to Canada.
Number 3, not all police officers are Mounties. Those officers dressed in red suits and great big hats are members of the RCMP, or the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Your cops are called Mounties.
While Canada does indeed use Mounties on the federal level, cities and municipalities use regular police officers, as they do in most countries. Mounties enforce federal laws and will work closely with the provinces and municipalities in order to accomplish their goals. And their tasks include dealing with organized crime, drug trafficking, and border control, among many other federal offenses. So, yes, Canada does have Mounties, but no, they don't go around solving crimes on horseback. And the country does rely heavily on municipal police forces as well. Also, Mounties don't always dress like that either.
Oh, Canada.
You hear that? You hear that? You better not play with them.
Our home and native land.
Number 2, healthcare
Yo,
isn't
he-
free.
yo.
It's paid for by taxes.
Dad, no, it says don't walk.
Doesn't matter. They have free health care.
Oh!
Often when talking about the great things in Canada, free healthcare is brought up.
Oh my goodness, y'all got free healthcare just like the UK when they got the NHS? This is crazy. I thought the UK was the only one with that. Yo, America, what's up? We gotta step it up, you know? You want to tell all these lies saying we one of the best countries. Why we ain't got no free healthcare?
But that term is a bit of a mischaracterization.
Oh.
Healthcare in Canada
I
isn't
spoke too
somehow
soon?
free. That'd make no sense.
It's not free, but it gets taken out through your taxes over time. That's for the UK too. It's not free, but it's free. Like if you need surgery or you need some type of, you know, procedures or anything done right away, it's covered. If you need to go a doctor's appointment or a checkup or emergency visit, it's covered. You don't have to worry about digging in the bank, pulling out that credit card. You don't have to worry about none of that. Having a payment plan. Man, you see what I'm talking about? Let's see if that's what she says, because that's how I'm imagining it.
It's just paid for by taxpayer dollars.
Exactly.
Because access to universal
nothing free.
healthcare services is considered a right in Canada.
Canada. What, is everyone going to have access to universal health care so no one has to choose between going bankrupt and treating a life-threatening illness?
While
Like, you see what I'm saying? We got people out here that can't even get cured. They can't even fight the diseases they have going on in their systems because they don't even have enough bankroll. Are you crazy? Are you out your mind? You better take care of your people. You better take care of your citizens of America. This is crazy. That just honestly made me frustrated. We got people digging in their pocket right now. Like, man, this is crazy. I know too many people right now who's struggling to purchase the medication that they need right now. The medication that they need right now to heal and get better from being sick and everything. America, let's get up to date, man. Let's get up to date for real.
Some arguments persist about the best way to design and maintain a program of universal healthcare, and there are still complaints that Canada's system lags behind
take
those
our
in
taxes
European countries.
and still charge us for this
The majority
stuff.
of Canadians agree that it's been incredibly beneficial.
Our
And-
tax money don't go straight towards this stuff. We still got to pay for this out the pocket or hope that our insurance is full coverage, which means it's going to cover as much as possible. Don't mean that it's full coverage. Look, what's with this full coverage term? Let's make it partial coverage. Stop saying full, because we is not paying $0 for these procedures and these medications and just simple things. We are paying top dollar for it. Talking about some full coverage, it's partial coverage. Don't move to America.
That healthcare is a great use of tax money.
Don't come here.
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'm frustrated.
Real maple syrup. I hate that Faco kind.
What's so bad about being Canadian?
Your milk comes in bags.
So yeah, apparently ketchup is so hot in Canada that they just threw the artificial flavoring all over the chips here.
That's where ketchup chips came from? I had ketchup chips. They are really good, but I don't like the Lay's kind. It's not the Lay's kind. It's like a Kettle, or I think the brand name is Kettle, or it's another brand. I think it's Kettle. Ketchup chips is fire. Ooh. I love me some ketchup chips.
#1. Not everyone has that stereotypical accent.
There's not going to be any fight without Scott Riles and the incredibly polite Canadian news team.
Sorry about that, eh? While the accent does exist, it's more common in rural areas. And even then, people in the Maritimes and Newfoundland have their own distinct accent.
They sometimes have a funny way of saying things like a boot,
And the way they say about.
which sounds like, what's that? A boot?
The majority of Canadians you meet, who will likely be from the big cities, don't talk with that accent. In fact, they sound very similar to Americans from big cities.
You got a weird thing for Canadian melodrama.
Got a weird thing for girls who say a boot.
We will concede that Canadians do say the word.
Yo, there's some type of, I can't say if it's slang or if that's the language, but there's some area in Canada, and I seen the video, and like, her accent was crazy. Like, it didn't even sound Canadian. I only remember a few words she said, too, because I didn't really understand what she was saying. That's how complex the language she was speaking was. But she was from Toronto, they said. But I thought it was exaggerated. I thought she was trolling, because I'm like, people from Toronto don't sound like this. Look at Drake. She was saying stuff like, my youth, this and that. I'm like, huh? Y'all say that in Canada? She was like, yeah, my youth, and we was this. I'm my youth. Don't that mean like my friend or like a person? My youth. They say that in Jamaica. I'm like, I don't. There was a few things she's saying. I'm like,
a lot.
That's
But it's
Jamaican.
often misused by those
Canadian.
mocking Canada.
I moved here from Canada and they think I'm slow, eh?
A is another way of saying right or, you know, at the end of a sentence. Not a
I know y'all
random
do that.
word we just interject in the middle of conversations. Bet you learned something new today, eh?
Come on, what do we look like? Rookies? Sorry.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for.
Man, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn all post notifications on. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by today. The support truly means a lot. Please feel free to spam my comment section with more of these videos to react to, and feel free to use the suggestion link in my description down below. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Please let me know in the comments down below how you guys felt about this video. Honestly, my Canadians and Americans.